morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. It's Dr. Sarah Langley, and I'm just so excited just to be with you today. And yeah, looking forward to this finale in terms of the office hours success with Sarah. And just let me know where you're from, let me know who you are, what you do. And yeah, I'm just excited just to have this time with you. So thank you. You can be anywhere else, but you had decided to be with me. So thank you so much for being a part of this conversation. And yeah, we have a treat because of it being the finale. I'm really looking forward just to talk more in depth as to where things are, where we going into the next year. And just wanted to see if you feel like you're on target, if you're on point with your goals. So yeah, you can put in the chat section as far as with where you are, who you are, what you do. And yeah, what's one thing you're looking forward to having this conversation with me? Like, what are you looking forward to have, or what do you want to walk away with? So thank you so much again for tuning in. I appreciate it greatly. Have a different scenery and background, just because I like to mix things up as well. I believe in movement. And what I mean by that is we don't realize how complacent our minds can be. And the fact that when we're in a certain space for so long and we get accustomed to it, we don't realize that how we do one thing is how we do everything. Have everything the same. We will justify and say, okay, well, I'm just a routine type of person. I just like things to be routine. It's one thing to have routine. It's another to be complacent and don't realize. So I like to spruce things up, make it versatile. And, just rocking my colors. So my brand colors are red and teal. So just wanted to have a different space for you today. And let's see, get to the chat. Okay, hey, how you doing? Thank you for tuning in. And yeah, you want more pointers and insights on navigating corporate America as a minority. Great, great, great. I'm looking forward to answering any questions that you have. All right, so without further ado, um, I was looking at my goals for the following year. There were 10 goals that I started with. It's really 17 in my book. Some are personal, some are business related. So I'll talk about the ones that's business related. Let me ask you, did you get a chance to write down your goals for the following year, for the new year? What do you want to accomplish? And we'll talk about how you can collapse time to be able to actually accelerate in accomplishing your goals for the following year. So let me know if by chance you had a chance to write down your goals. And yeah, do you feel comfortable with your goals that you have? Because that's what we're going to talk about. That's going to be my spiel for this conversation. So I was a part of a workshop, I want to say last week, and the presenter was talking about it's not so much of going into with your goals as the same way every single year, where it's like a New Year's resolution. Because oftentimes New Year's resolutions, they don't last. They only last for about 21 days. You get all gung-ho, you're so excited, and then you start fizzling out. And may not be you, but typically studies have shown that about 21 days later in, people start to fizzle out on their goals. And why is that? Mindset, consistency, commitment, conviction. I always, as you see, I like acronyms and I like to go into like, the letters like 3 C's, 3 E's, 3 A's. So when one doesn't have the consistency, the commitment, and the conviction, then it fizzles out. We all can start off strong. We all can start off great. But then it's another when we actually end up not um, being consistent enough, like having a routine in that regard, having a system, having a regimen. When we're not committed, yeah, we were committed January 1, but we need to be committed all the way through. And if we're not really all in, like all engaged, all playing full out, then yeah, you best believe you're gonna fizzle out after 21 days. And conviction, when it's in your heart of hearts, that you're not looking at the challenges that you have to face to fulfill your goal, but rather keeping your eyes on the prize, being able to have a mind, heart, soul connection with that goal and not let it just be a goal where you're just doing a check off, but you're doing it where you see the benefits. You see how it will not just benefit you, but benefit others by you investing in yourself, by you valuing yourself enough, by you finding that you are worthy and deserving enough to evolve, to expand, to elevate, to overcome and your goals. So with that said, when I was working with the presenter, they helped us to look at it instead of just looking at it as, okay, what are your goals for the following year? How do you want to feel? That is how you start to collapse the time. And give me 1 second. I just want to check on one thing. Excuse me. With that said, it's a matter of being able to now keep your eyes on the prize and looking at, I was listening to another presenter. I went to a networking event yesterday and they were talking about, and this hit me. We tend as human beings, which is understandable, we've been conditioned this way to think that life is going to just be perfect. It's going to be hunky dory. There's going to be without obstacles. Like our job is to dodge obstacles, dodge issues and problems. Or we act like we're not supposed to have issues and problems. We logically are aware that we are going to have problems because this is life, but it's another to really believe it because it seems like a lot of us fall apart when challenges come, when life's, right? And it's because of the mindset, how we were looking at it. I'll speak for me. I used to think that our job, now I'm a faith-based person too. So I thought that as a believer, that Jesus was going to protect me. Like my prayer is like, okay, keep me from all hurt, harm, and danger. Keep me from all problems and issues because I believe in you, because I, have faith in you. Then in turn, you're going to protect me from all the bad issues, all the bad problems. And I'm going to just have everything that's perfect and right and safe, right? That's what I used to think. And I logically knew that that wasn't the case, but I honestly believe more that no, Jesus, your job is to protect me and make sure that I'm happy all the way through for the rest of my life. And then I'll fall apart when challenges would come. And then as I got older, I started to live life a little bit more. I realized that obstacles also play part with growth. And my job, I do three things. I'm a coach, counselor, and consultant. So I counsel individuals, deal with mood and personality disorders. I coach executives and women professionals who are in C-suites or in Fortune 500, Fortune 100 companies, helping them with their performance base to excel in their goals at work, and also know how to manage with change management, dealing with imposter syndrome. And the reason why I'm bringing this up was because when I realized that from the counseling end, when I was counseling some clients, and it's one thing for me to counsel and teach and all that, but it's another for me to follow suit and follow the example that I'm leading. And I say all that to say, when I realized that obstacles are also part of our growth, and we can dodge them all day long, but they will be waiting for us because whatever we prayed for, whatever we wanted, whatever we feel called and led to do, that obstacle plays part. And the goal, what this presenter said yesterday, was obstacles are for us to overcome them. It is a part of our testimony. It's a part of our calling to have these obstacles that gives us an opportunity to grow, to evolve, to expand. So if I can help you to shift your mindset, to look at things differently so that you can get different results and expect differently, then it's worth its weight in gold. I've done my part. My job is to help you to think, just to think, just to look at things differently. And in doing that, to see if that will make it a little bit easier. It may not feel good still dealing with obstacles and challenges, but because of the fact that you understand and you know and you grasp and you accept the purpose of obstacles is not to necessarily take you out. It is really to help you to grow and to overcome so that now you can help other people who's going to go through the same thing that you've gone through. You can be a testimony to them that, wow, she was able to do that. And she went through all that. I can't even tell that she went through anything, but if she was able to do it, I can too. That is really the master goal to me of success and happiness. That we go through life for whatever the reasons that they are, or our calling, our purpose, our mission, and to not begrudge or bemoan both obstacles and opportunities. We're all excited about opportunities, and then we get all torn apart of the obstacles. But if we can look at the reason behind the obstacles, it also plays part just as much as the opportunity presents. If we're able to overcome that obstacle, it affords us more opportunities. So they go hand in hand, is what I'm saying. So I hope that in that shift, when I first asked you the question about goals, have you written your goals? Instead of looking at the goals as, okay, check off, all right, and if you do not fulfill one of your goals, you're all upset, like, oh, I failed. Rather, be led by what is it of these goals? What about these goals? What is it that you're trying to achieve in terms of feeling? What do you want to feel based on these goals? Do you want to feel freedom? Do you want to feel relaxation? Do you want to feel accomplished? Do you want to feel satisfied? Do you want to feel expansive? Do you want to feel um, relieved? Like, what is it that you want? Your business and your work should be part of your mission, your calling, your purpose, to be your motivator. Instead of looking at it, I'm just coming here for a paycheck. Wow, I'm really benefiting this company. I'm really my presence, my productivity, my work ethic, my skill set. I'm lending to this company. I'm being a blessing to this company. I'm being a blessing to this business. I'm being a blessing to my clients. So that in turn, the more that you look at it that way, it helps you to show up more. It helps you to be more consistent. It helps you to be more committed. It helps you to feel more convicted. So that all these parts work hand in hand. So that in the end, towards the end of the year, you can say, wow, I feel very accomplished. I really feel productive. I'm really proud of myself. I even dare you to do a challenge for yourself in the next, whether in the beginning of the year or you can start right now and keep going. I'm doing I am proud. I am proud of myself challenge. And I have this book where it's a journal and I call it my happiness and success journal. So I'm dropping some nuggets right now. If you want to also look at how can you collapse time, how can you collapse um, time in terms of accelerating and fulfilling your goals much more quickly, have an I am proud of myself challenge. Every day, journal in your happiness and success journal. You can call it whatever you want to call it. I call it my happiness and success journal because this is part of what I teach and help my women professionals with in being happy and successful on their own terms at the same time. And in turn, you can actually jot down on a regular basis what things you're proud of. What did you do that you can say you're proud of? And here is the thing. It is not always about external factors to be part of the barometer to measure success. Sometimes it is internal aspects such as confidence building, such as self-esteem, positive self-image that we may not necessarily be able to measure. But I can't see why not. If your productivity goes to the roof because now you are proud of yourself for and you're depositing positive seeds in yourself, that you're praising yourself and you're finding more value and more worth in yourself, and you are validating yourself and you're affirming yourself, and you aren't in need of other people's validation and opinions and attaboys for you to be productive. Like you start to find yourself in your own equation. And in turn, you start to build your own confidence up. You start to build your own esteem up by you celebrating yourself, by you being seen, like you're seeing yourself. You're not waiting for people to see you, to celebrate you, to appreciate you, to validate you, but you doing that for yourself. That goes an absolutely like a long way because you're depositing positivity in yourself. You're not waiting for anybody to do it for you. So if you were to now have your happiness and success journal, and let's say for sake of time, 21 days, 21 to 28 days, or 30 days, between that, between 21 and 30 days, you just find one thing to be proud of yourself every single day. I swear to you, you'll be so surprised at how quickly you can accomplish your goals because now you have that momentum, you have that energy, you have that drive, you build that part of you up that regardless whether people praise you or not, that you're not waiting for anybody to give you that permission. Like you're so motivated to make things happen. And insight comes, clarity comes because you shift your mindset from looking at everyone else and comparing and things like that to now you're just looking at your eyes on the prize, your focus, your goal. You're committed, you're consistent, you're convicted, and let's go. So I said quite a bit. I just wanted to talk about pretty much goal setting instead of looking at doing checkoffs as far as like, okay, I got these goals and I'm going to egotistically, and there's nothing wrong with ego. It has its place. I'm going to check this off. And if I'm able to get them all done in 30 days, then I'm proud of myself. Rather, you could just start now and just be proud of yourself for showing up today. You can just be proud of yourself for the fact that you have decided to wake up and go to work. We can say, oh no, I got to pay bills. That's why I got to go. Well, yeah, I guess you can do whatever you want to do. You cannot go, because you're like, oh, I'm not getting the things that I need from that job. I'm tired of this job. They should be happy that I'm showing up every day. Whatever the attitude is, it's a matter of shifting your mindset in a way that you have the attitude that best serves you, that best supports you, that best energizes you. Start looking at it that way. And what is it that you want your job, your company, your business? What is it that you're trying to feel? What is the feeling that you're trying to achieve from your company, from your business, from your job? Start there. And then after that, I invite you to consider maybe doing the I am proud of me challenge as well on your own terms, in your own way, at your own time. Get a journal, write down your successes, what you're proud of every single day, because then it'll be your point of reference. It will be like your Bible, so to speak, that you can turn back to. So when there's times that you feel bad, you feel displeased, or you feel depleted or defeated, you can turn back to your journal. Like, wow, back on January 1st, I was able to accomplish X, Y, and Z. And I thought that that was hard. But because I was able to accomplish it, then that means that I can accomplish this today. Wow. I see that on March 1st, I was feeling really down, but I overcame that. And I'm feeling pretty down now. But if I was able to accomplish it then, I can accomplish it now. So I just want you to have the tools that are necessary, that we're not always looking for all these other things that's supposed to help us to achieve success. Do what you have to do. I'm not knocking anything. It's just that, if anything, I'm empowering you to start looking more within yourself. Instead of comparing yourself and thinking that you're lacking somewhere, look at what you do have. Count your blessings. Look at where you are today. Yeah, you may have a goal to achieve to be at a certain space by in 12 months. But for now, today, be proud of yourself today. And the more that you look at yourself in the present tense and present sense today, what did you do to get here? What can you go back to and say that you were proud of, that you may not have given yourself your own flowers in a way that got you here? You may not be where you want to be, but you're not where you used to be. And if you look at it that way, that will help you to really accelerate much more quickly and differently towards your goals. So let me know any questions, comments, what resonated for you. Please feel free to put in the chat. Yes. So you asked the question, goal setting, do you recommend an amount of time to come back and reassess progress? So I usually invite my clients to look into 90 days. Some do it 30 as a short term. So you can always assess in 30 days if you like, 90 days max, just to see quarterly how you've done. Because sometimes you may not, because you're shifting gears or you're getting more intentional, more focused with your goals, you may not see the progress that you want to see in 30 days. Um, you may feel like, well, I didn't move at all. And so that's why I'm like, give yourself really 90 days. So it's been said that 30 days, really 28 days, creates a habit, but 90 days create a lifestyle. So if you're looking at 90 days, that's more of the the goal to see how you've done in those 3 months, because the first month is really you trying to regroup and recenter, reframe your mindset, get your mindset right, get yourself all engaged. The next 30 days is really where the rubber meets the road. And then the last 30 days, you're kind of cruising. You have the habit down, you have the ritual, the routine down. You have more to celebrate and be proud of, so that you could look back and compare what happened, what's different, what did you do differently within those 90 days. So 90 days is usually the goal. You can start with 30 just to kind of see if you're on target, but 90 days. Hope that answers your question. And let me know, was there anything that resonated for you in talking about the um, the goal setting, how you want to feel concerning your business, your job, your company, the success and happiness journal, being able to reference it when you need to, but being able to do an I am proud of me challenge for the next 30 days. Let me know your thoughts about that. So for me personally, I brain dump. So then it helps to clear my mind and get more focused. So the structure of the goal setting, I usually go back to the standard of SMART goals. Let me know if you heard of SMART goals. It's an acronym. And that usually is the foundational template that I start with for those who are doing their goal setting. Let me know if you heard of it. Okay. So I brain dump because that helps to clear my mind and help my clients to clear their minds, to then be able to discern better, to be more perceptive, more astute, more aware, more attentive to their behavior, their thoughts, their actions. And then that's when it starts to structure more. And we use the SMART goals to solidify, so that now you have short-term goals, like many successes to lead to the main goal. All right. All right. So that's my spiel. How do you want to feel? How do you want to feel regarding your goals? How you want to keep your eyes on the prize, not on the challenges or the obstacles. If anything, look at the obstacles as being part of your growth, your evolution for you to overcome. And they present more opportunities that way, when you can reframe your mindset about looking at all the negative things, because they play part. We can dodge them all day long, but it's going to be there waiting for us because it plays part for our growth. Write down your successes and things that make you happy. Keep a running tab on them, so you can go back to them when you need to. Add to you being proud of yourself. Build up your esteem, your confidence, uh, your positive self-image. Do what you need to do so that now you can truly be a limitless leader. You can truly excel in what you are here to accomplish. If you're trying to transition from jobs or careers, then this is one of the fastest way to do that and what we're talking about. All right. So now, please let me know any questions for me on any of the topics that I mentioned that I love talking about, whether entrepreneurship, relationships, whether talking about mindset, whether talking about um, strategies, success strategies. You let me know. I'm here for you. What questions do you have for me? I'm excited to answer them. What are ways that you evaluate and assign your relationships, personal and professional? Could you say more to that? I want to make sure that I answer it accurately. As you clarify, I'll see if I'm in the right ballpark. So how I took that was, what are ways that you evaluate and assign your relationships? Um, I like to do things simple. Oh my God. I know that many of us come with degrees and come with prestige and fame and accolades and all that, but sometimes, man, it's just about keeping things simple. So I like going to back to basics and back to foundational roots. And what came to mind for me on this question was, how do I assign my relationships? How do I evaluate them? I attribute them towards plus, minus, divide, multiplication. So in terms of networking and navigating personal relationships, how do you determine how to promote and demote people in a way that doesn't tear you down and contributes to your constant growth? Addition, subtraction, division, multiplication. I was talking to a friend of mine, let me see, prior to us meeting, and she's always catchy with her words. Where is it? She said something along the lines of, don't don't burn yourself up, or yeah, don't burn yourself up trying to keep others warm. Don't burn yourself up trying to keep others warm. And that hit me. We will make ourselves dead last on everything to make everybody else first, to make sure that everybody's attended to and our expectation that they're going to attend to us. This is not just about, she calls it the disease to please. I find that especially for women leaders, women in different various leadership roles, have this imposter syndrome, have this thing where they're just not good enough because they're comparing themselves to other people. And they do exceptional work, but then they don't look at themselves. They're looking at everybody else. And they're not looking at what they're able to do because like, oh, it's easy. It was nothing. It was nothing for me to do it. But why not give yourself that pat on the back? Why not celebrate yourself? Why not give yourself that credit? That's not being conceited. That's not being selfish at all. So instead of looking at being part of connecting with people who are takers and they'll add back and replenish what they've taken, then those are flags. Sometimes ego can be in the way. We'll be like, oh, well, that makes me proud that they're able to come to me and they feel comfortable with me and they trust me and I'm able to be a benefit and an asset to them. But honestly, the shift to that, and it's crazy. I'm sharing these things with you because these are things that not only that I help my clients with, but I also once more had to practice what I preach as I journey into my own evolution, to be honest with you. I used to think that me being connected with those where I had to pull them up because I am in the healthcare field as well. I mean, that was my initial breakout was starting in healthcare as a counselor. So how the counseling model is, our job was to pull people up, get them out of where they like below baseline, to bring them up to baseline. But the problem with that, there's always pros and cons to everything. The problem with that was people getting used to and conditioned to just being pulled up and not needing to have the energy to not just get there at baseline, but to stay there or to elevate from there. And it became now where I thought that I was positioned to, because I'm the strong one, I'm strong, then I'm going to people who are weak. But sometimes going to those who are weak and you're pouring yourself into them can deplete you. And we celebrate that. We celebrate people like depleting themselves to no end, that by the time that they're able to celebrate whatever their wins are, they don't really have any energy to celebrate because they're so depleted. And looking for others to pour into them, the habit has been created to now only connect with primarily those who you feel value, you feel like you're valuable to. You may not feel valuable to people who already have their own cups filled. That's how I used to feel. I'm like, what's the point of working with people who are in executive positions where they worked and put in the effort to be where they are? So why do they need me? I used to think that until I had to change my mindset and be like, okay, well, they still need mentorship. They still need guidance. They still need, it's just the fact that they have the pieces in place. They're not necessarily there to take. They're just looking to be tweaked and to be given permission and to be validated. But they don't need my entire validation. Like they're able to validate themselves. And so now I put a shift in the work, the relationship or the dynamic of the relationship where now we're partnering. It's not about just pulling. It's not just about pushing or pulling, but how about partnership? And I would say that like, oh, I'm working with you we're partnering together, but it really, in reality, in theory, that was the ideal approach. But in reality, that's not what was happening. And then that's where one gets depleted or get frustrated. Like, well, why this isn't working? Because it's not actually how you envisioned it to be. So my point to say all that is that in learning that, now I'm able to answer your question in this way, that you determine how you navigate, how you know, network is looking at also how do they add to your life? How is it a win and win for everyone? Not just a win for them, because, oh, that's where you get your value. You feel valuable when you are giving, but you should already feel valuable because you're just being who you are. You're not being proud of yourself because you were able to accomplish so much. You're just proud of yourself because that's just who you are, because you just love you. So it's not about connecting with people who solely are just there to take, because that is where you can now find your value because you're able to pour in, but then you're going to get depleted and you're looking for them to pour back into you. But why do you expect them to pour back into you when their position was to take? Their position wasn't to give. That was your position. Get around. The answer is get around, start navigating and seeing who are like-minded like yourself, who are givers. If you're a giver, you are being with other givers. In this finale, and I'm going to, you know, kind of assess and see if I want to continue. I love doing this work. I absolutely love showing up and helping you to be successful. And so I will also let everyone know if I'm going to continue in the new year with doing this. I wanted to test this out, see where things are, and go from there. But I love doing this. I love mentoring. I love educating. I love teaching. So if you don't get anything from this finale, get this. Like attracts like. Opposites do not attract. Oh my God. Opposites do not attract. That is a lot from the pit of hell. I'm so tired of how we've been conditioned to think that, because that just keeps nonsense going. We can justify and be like, oh no, well, I know this one couple who's been together for 50 years and they're so opposite. Okay, that's a portion in comparison to the majority of people who aren't getting along because they're opposite. Because we think that the person's supposed to complete us because they're opposite. And that's a lie. Like attracts like. And that is the answer. We were conditioned to say, oh, I don't know if I can stand somebody like me. I don't know if I want somebody like me. Why not? Did you have you? And now we're just not just talking about the bad, negative parts, but how the positive parts about you. I tell you the truth. Look for people like you who are truly like-minded like you. If you feel like your mind isn't right, then you go around people who are higher than you then, mentally, emotionally, ethically, like work-wise, so that now they can rub off on you. Now you're in that space, in that energy, in that vibration, in that atmosphere that you now can take on and then attract to other people and attract those people to you, where it is a give and take, not just you giving and they're taking. You can assess and discern when you're at a networking event and the people are just talking about themselves, and pay attention to your own feelings. Like if you start to be like, you feel cringy or you feel like, pay attention to yourself. We have an intuition for a reason. Don't negate it. If you're feeling some type of way, you feel like your energy is going low, you feel like you don't want to do it. At this networking event I was at yesterday, there were two committees that I would like to be part of at that event. So I'm a part of the organization that was hosting this event. And they had like four committees there. And I said, I want to do two of them. And one of the two, I love healthcare, but I'm tired. I'm not tired. I just don't like the setup. I don't align with the setup with healthcare, with the healthcare industry. I do not align with how managed care plays part in it. I don't. I never did, but I would sacrifice because it was for the love of the clients. And I just don't buy into that anymore. No offense. It's just now I got to include me in the equation. That's what was bothering me, was the fact that I didn't feel like I was including myself in the equation. And I expected managed care organizations to see my sacrifice, my effort, being in here for decades, helping clients all around the world, and still getting paid with so much money. And we are taught that it's not about the money, but dang on it, it is about the money too. We got to live too. We got to keep lights on. We got to, we got to put food on the table. So I'm good on my soapbox. That's not what you're asking for. When the person had told me about the four committees that they had to offer, and there was two. One of them was healthcare. And I was like, yeah, I was talking to my friend about it today. I was like, yeah, I guess I can do it. Now, because my attitude was like that, I'm like, you know what? I shouldn't do it because I'm not overjoyed. I'm not excited. I'm not feeling it. But the entrepreneurship was another one. I was like, oh, yes, I lit up. So why don't we make this easy for ourselves? Be around people and connect with those where you light up, not where you're starting to feel low energy, low vibration, don't want to deal with that person, you feel cringy. Pay attention to your intuition. Don't try to make yourself do something with these networking events or your really personal or professional relationships. You have a right, and you have a right to choose who you want in your space and who you don't. Give yourself permission and be okay with that, as opposed to looking 5 steps ahead, like, oh well, but down the line that I can see the benefit. But if you can't see that benefit right now, you got to go through hell to get there. It's one thing for life to be set up with obstacles to help you to overcome and have opportunities. You don't have to help life. Life is set up the way that it's set up. It's going to help you to face obstacles and to overcome them. You don't have to help life out by you putting yourself in situations that you just don't feel good. So that was a long, drawn out way for me to say, what ways do I evaluate and assign my relationships, personally and professionally? I look at, are they adding? Do I light up when I'm around them? If I start to cringe, if I start rolling my eyes, if I start mumbling under my breath, there's this meme. I love this meme. It was saying, um, catching my words is no problem. It's my face that needs deliverance. It's not so much about what I say. It's more so it shows in my face. My mom used to say that all the time. It's not what I say. It's not like I need deliverance from my mouth. I need deliverance from my face. So my face will tell you without me having to say a word. If I have to, if I show a certain face, then no, I got to walk. Now, again, if the person makes me light up, like the person who hosted the event yesterday, I love her to life. She is so great. She's so amazing. I just love her. So I light up. And so because I light up with her, I'm willing to give my talent, my resource, my time, my energy towards her cause. So that's why I'm like, I want to be a part of the entrepreneurship committee. I want to help. I want to serve. I want to be a part of what you're doing. She lights me up. So therefore, I have no problem having her in my life and us connecting. So I hope that answers your question. And that goes for both professionally and personally. You know how to, when it's time to demote people from your life. I was helping this one client out with this. Good. I was helping this one client out. She had friends for like 20 years, and she just feels so depleted with them. She feels lifeless. Come on now, we're using words like that. Lifeless, depleted. That tells you something. Pay attention to that. So she was just like, yeah, the only reason I'm hanging on with these girls is because we've known each other for 20 years. We grew up together. And I feel out of loyalty, I should continue with them. But I don't feel like I'm the same with them. I feel like I've outgrown their friendship. I feel like we just don't have anything in common, but I just don't want to abandon them. I don't want to make them think I'm better. So when you start thinking like that, when you start concerning yourself about what do they think, as opposed to what do you think, that's a sign. So if you have to demote, reckon within yourself to give yourself permission and to say, it's okay. I have a friend, my best friend, one of my best friends, love her forever and a day. I saw how we were changing. So I don't talk to her as much. When we talk, some things are still the same. And so we don't talk. I'd be like, okay, I can't talk to her. Um, I check with her a couple times a year. She checks in with me a couple times a year, and we're okay with that. Initially, it didn't feel good. So, and that's the honest truth. Initially, it may not feel good. Initially, it won't feel good because you're shifting, you're changing, you're outstretched, you're stretching out of certain things, certain situations, certain people. And that is life. That's reality. That is reality. Sometimes you just have to accept that and be okay. So that means you got to reckon within yourself to give yourself permission. There's time to kind of like scale back or shed away or demote some people. It's all in love. It's nothing personal. You want to now sorry for this word, discard, so that now you open yourself up for the right people that are to play part in your life at this season of your life. Not have it to be crowded by holding on to people that just aren't serving you in the capacity that you need them to serve at this season of your life. So think about, remember when I talked about the feeling? What are the feelings that you're trying to get from your business, from your company, from your job? Same thing applies with people, with personal and professional relationships. Everybody's not on the same page with you, but there are people who are on the same page with you. A lot of times we stop short with that. We're like, oh, there's people that aren't on the same page with me. And therefore we don't realize that we are subconsciously telling our mindset that there are no people like that. And so therefore it keeps us stuck or it keeps us with the same people. I don't want you to say that to yourself. There are people like you who are out there. If your question is like, well, how do I find them? You just decide that you want to open up to those like-minded individuals as yourself and watch how you will, they may seem magically, you'll start saying it. You'll start opening your mindset to like, wow, I had 5 people around me I didn't pay attention to. Right now, your mind was closed to it because you were just thinking about, wow, I don't have anybody. I got to connect. I got to stay, connected with these people that I just don't feel any type of happiness or energy with. It's when we open our mindset. Look at how we all connected. You were already thinking and feeling, okay, I want to up level myself. I want to do better, or I want to transition in different companies, different industries. And I am looking for ways of how do I navigate as a minority and in corporate America and all those things. Like you're already thinking that before we even met. And so because you're already thinking that, you decided that you wanted to know how. How do you do it? Success with Sarah came. You attracted this. And that's how it works. So when you make a decision, I think we talked about that before, part of ACE it. But when you decide, when you finally decide that you want different so that you can get different, it unfolds, it happens. Your mindset will now open up and be like, oh, wow, I had these people around me the whole time. No different like when we're thinking about, I don't know if this happened for you, or anyone who's watching this, when it comes to like a certain car that you want. I'm a Mercedes person. I love Mercedes. I'm a Mercedes girl. When I didn't think I deserved a Mercedes, when I thought, oh, I grew up in the hood, I grew up in the poor area. So therefore, people who are poor like me, here I go identifying with that. When I've gotten out of it years later, but I kept associating and connecting with my roots as if to be loyal, like, okay, I won't forget where I came from. And there's a difference. You don't have to forget where you came from, but you don't have to identify if that's not where you are because you work to be where you are that you can now afford a Mercedes or whatever is to your liking. So I wouldn't, there were times that I would see a Mercedes and there were times I didn't. When I didn't feel like I was deserving and worthy of it, I didn't see it. When I started to entertain the thought, like, but no, I really like a Mercedes. Now all of a sudden I see Mercedes Benz everywhere. Is what we open and close our minds to. And the only way that we'll get to start paying attention to what we open our minds to and what we don't is based on our decision, what we decide. So, yes, I hope this helped you in regards to answering your question. Um, it doesn't tear down in a way that doesn't tear you down and contribute to your constant growth. This is about your growth. So keep that in mind. This is about your growth. And everybody, everything, everyone plays part to it, negatively and positively. But it's help in turn to help you to, it's for your good, for your growth, for your elevation, for your expansiveness, for your evolution. Yeah. So I hope that helps. Any other questions for me? Once again, I just thank you for being here. You make this possible for Success with Sarah to happen. So I wanted to ask you, what is your takeaway? What are your takeaways? What are you committing to in anything we talked about? Takeaways are not making myself small to fit in spaces and circles that don't even serve me. I know that's right. The importance of goal setting and assessing and meaningful journaling, and that like attracts like, not the opposite. Yes, yes, yes. I had to drive that one home. So, if you have found this valuable and you feel that this can help you along the way in your goal setting, because it's one thing to be empowered and inspired, and that is part of my goal. I love empowering, I love inspiring, but it's another when you're like, okay, I got this, I feel this way. Now, what happens once we get off this call? What happens after Success with Sarah is over, such as now for the rest of the month? How do you still successfully fulfill your goals? So I dropped a link in terms of how I'm offering my one-on-one session. So December is closed. We're starting in January. I'm still looking to extend the 90% off on my services. So typically, doing a one-on-one session with me is four figures. Yeah. but I offered it at a 90% discount to do the one-on-one because again, I love doing what I do. And I definitely want to make sure that you see yourself as being valuable enough that you invest in yourself to now have the one-on-one, the camaraderie, the conversation, the roadmap, and not just doing this by yourself, trying to still figure it out. Because I'm glad, be motivated. If you feel like you can do this and you're more of a do-it-yourself person, then make it happen and keep me posted on your success. If you feel like, you know what, I still kind of need some hand holding, I still need some one-on-one, I need some support, some guidance, I need to really kind of take this offline and really talk with Dr. Langley and really map out my success for 2024 and my goal success planning, then I'm your girl. I'm here for you. And please feel free to take advantage of the 90% off. Um, so I'll leave the link there. You can copy it. You find other people that you feel could benefit from this, please send them my way. And I just, again, say thank you. Thank you so much for showing up. Thank you so much for finding yourself valuable to the point that you had decided to use your greatest asset and give it to me, which is your time. It could have been anywhere else, but you decided to be with me. So thank you so much for letting me be me and to pour into you. So that at the end of the day, if I were to ever walk away or anybody walks away, taking something that they have poured into you with them, that it's about you making sure that your cup is already full and filled so that you don't ever feel depleted, that you now are able to still fulfill your goals and accelerate them in the year ahead and beyond. So thank you so much. If you need me, I'm here. With that being said, you have a great rest of your day on purpose and be limitless. Take care. And thank you.